Hey y'all, hey. How are you guys doing today? Come on in. Hey Jet Global, thanks so much for joining. Waiting on Tiffany Nicole to hop on. There she is. She'll be joining in a minute. Hey TJ to the max, thanks for joining. So we're going to be getting started shortly. We're going to be talking about hair textures today. I got a couple of notes wrote down. I'm dropping things. Let me see. Oh man, Tiffany says it won't let her in. So, I'm wondering. Good morning. Oh, I pressed the wrong thing. I was trying to invite Tiffany. Hold on, you guys. I don't know why it's not letting her join the live. Oh, there it is. Let's see.
Hey, hey, hey.
Okay, there you go. I thought I was going to have to hop off and then come back on. I was like, I hated to do that.
I know. Good morning.
Yeah, we got a few people that have joined us live so far. We got TJ to the max. We got BS Certain, Jet Global. So thank you guys all for tuning in. We really appreciate it. So we won't hold you guys too long. We know everybody has their day, and busy. So we're gonna jump right in if you're ready, Tiff.
Right, it's Monday. This should be admin day for most of
Yeah,
us.
but most
So we're not going to
people,
take up all your time, just a few
right.
minutes.
Hey, Nurse Holly, thanks for joining. So as I mentioned earlier, so today's live, we're going to be talking about hair texture. And so me and Tiffany Nicole, we're coming together, giving you guys this information so that you can, one, take care of not only your hair, but your client's hair as well. And so, what we've been finding in the hair loss business is that one of the biggest factors is that, stylists and barbers are struggling with how to help their clients with their hair. And so today we wanted to focus more on hair texture because we understand that some stylists, barbers, they aren't familiar or just comfortable with just different hair textures altogether. So before we get started, I'll let Tiff introduce herself and tell her more about her.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Tiffany Nicole. I help aspiring and established beauty professionals grow their business from graduation all the way to grand opening. We do that through digital products. We do that through one-on-one coaching and also certifications in the state of Ohio. So thank you for joining today, and I hope you get some information that you really, really need to help your clients.
Yes, absolutely. And then for those that don't know me, my name is Precious Rutland. I'm a consultant psychologist as well as the creator of the Black Women Hair Haven program. And that's where I'm teaching and training the hairstylists, barbers, beauty professionals how to treat their clients' hair loss holistically so that together we can reduce hair loss amongst our community. And so one of the things that I wanted to talk about, and maybe if you guys can just chime in and put in the comments, like, are you even familiar with different hair textures? Like, are you well-rounded and working with multiple textures of hair? Like, how was that? Drop in the comments if you're familiar and comfortable with that. And while she's doing that, so Tiff, let's go ahead and kick this thing off. Like, what was your
Okay.
experience in school with textures of hair? Let's jump into it.
Ooh, that's a lot. Dealing with the different textures of hair in so many different settings. But let me focus on the chair because my brain went to something else. But let's
Okay.
focus on the chair. I know sometimes we shy away from different hair textures because we don't know how to work with it, or we just may not have the patience to work with it. So we need to speak to both of those things, because knowing how, we can help you with the how, but if it's something that you don't desire to do, that you just don't desire to do it. But you have to think about what you're missing out on by not being able to help those other people that may come
Mm-hmm.
into your chair. So I don't know how you like to classify hair. Do you want to stick with the wavy, coily, straight, or are we going into 4C, 2A? Like, what are we doing?
No, let's just keep it basic and do like
Okay.
fine, medium, coarse. Let's just keep it straight across the board.
And I think that is best, because once we start getting into breaking it down, each section down even further, it gets a little confusing. So keeping it
Well, they got to
pretty
come to the
basic.
Lens Hair event for that.
Right, right. We're gonna keep it pretty basic for today. If you want the in-depth details, then you're gonna have to come on down to the class. But you know, as in my experience, the tighter the coil, the less moisture is present. It seems to be more dry. So you have to work a little harder, but at the same time, you have to be more gentle. If that makes
Absolutely.
sense. That makes any sense. So,
Yeah, and then, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna piggyback and also say it's real important to pay attention to the textures all over the head, not just one section, because what I find is that you can have real soft hair in the front, like for me, like that's what I noticed. It's medium hair, very soft, but then like as you work your way throughout the hair, you can have a client whose hair is really thick and tight, coily hair like a fish. Or you can have someone with their hair is fine and wavy throughout the middle, and then, so now you got to figure out, okay, well, how do I, treat this hair? Because now she has multiple textures, and now you have to find the right product for their hair where they can feel cared for and it's not damaging them.
Hmm. And then the with the lack of moisture being there, depending on the type of depending on the level of porosity is the type of products that you can use. So we have to go all the way back to Kai's school and talk about the porosity, the elasticity, the diameter of the hair, all of these things that we haven't really thought about because we're just doing the day-to-day technical things that we normally do. We have to get back to that in order to help the people, keep the hair on their head. It's not just about being cute. We have to do what we can and educate our clients on how to do that. And if we don't know how to do it, we can't teach them. So you might want to come to class.
Right. And that was one of the things that you just pointed out, like something as simple as like Tiffany just mentioned, educating your client. That can start anywhere from at the shampoo bowl and just educating them on how to even handle their hair and that multiple texture. And believe me, they're going to be very appreciative of you taking that time to tell them, what you're doing to their hair, why you're using a certain product on their hair, and if you just tell them the kind of hair that they have, I'm telling you, you're going to have client retention, and this is going to set you apart in the marketplace and to
Yes.
retain your clients for longevity.
Yes. Also, don't be afraid that they're going to take the information and never come back to you. At the end of the day, you are the professional. So you have to show them how it's different when you use those same tools or same products that you're recommending that they use at home, because it's only going to help you, move their hair services along and achieve the results faster if you share, the things that you're using with them. So it's a win-win situation. I don't want you guys to look at it like, oh, I'm telling them all the products I'm using, but they still don't have your technique. They don't know your technique. They don't know the timing. They don't know the order for some of the things. You might add a little something different at the shampoo bowl this time, or your heat protectant serum. You might switch to a new one. They don't know that. And so you're still getting that different result than what they would get at home. So you want to make sure that you're sharing, at least the basic maintenance things with them at home so that their hair progresses as you're working with them. You want them to see the results so they'll keep coming to you. And they don't really understand the level that they're actually helping you with that. They think it's you because it is, it's you.
Tiffany, you in my mind this morning. That was one of my next points to talk about. So you just look, stop being in my head. But that was like the
That's why
next
we
thing
be
that I
besties.
had wrote down was like, based on what you want or based on what your client wants their hair to do or what you want their hair to do with that style, like that's going to determine what product you're going to use. And just like Tiffany just mentioned, you can switch up the product at the bowl, but as long as you're giving them a little bit of what you're doing, why you're using it, and how it's going to help them achieve that overall result. They can't take anything away from you, but it goes again to back to that education, knowing that book, knowing that hair texture, the anatomy of the hair, and then what you want that product to do. So that'll guide you on what product to use on the hair based on the style that they want, that they're looking to go for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And side note, if you're sharing the products that you use with your clients, you should probably retail them, but that's another talk show.
I like that. Yes, because clients nowadays are definitely looking for convenience. They want to be in and out. And I've even talked to some clients and they said, practice, when I get done with a service, if I could just have like my little package there of the products to use, that I could take home because they're busy, they travel all the time, and they just want to have products there. She said 99% of the time she will buy the products if you have it already there because she don't want to think about nothing.
Don't want to think about it. Don't want to have to go look for it. If it's not at this place, then they have to go to another place. So it's, convenience. And again, you're showing yourself as an expert. This is what you need. This is why I have it here for you. Buy it. Put it in their hand. Talk to them about how to use it.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
And I'm definitely tell you that increase your tickets. That would definitely increase your sales and put more money in your pocket. And again, if you want more tips like this, more education, you guys come to the event in Atlanta. We'll be there in October. So tips, like before we wrap up, I wanted to at least maybe we could just give some tips like with the different hair texture, like oily, dry, like just one little tip that they could use with their clients that they can, implement right now. What you
Well,
got?
one thing I want to say is when you are using your hair products, you want to distribute them based on their porosity. You don't want to take fine hair and put a heavy serum on it. A lot of times you just need the mist at the end because if you put serum on it before you're putting the heat, it will have no movement, just none. And if your client likes that, then that's fine. But I know most of the clients in my chair, they want some swing time. They want that hair moving when they get up. So you want to make sure that you are applying the product. You want to make sure you're emulsifying or spreading it throughout your fingers. When you work it in, don't just leave it in the palm of your hands because it's going to go directly into that area that you first put, and then that's where the weight is going to be. So you want to make sure you use a little bit at a time, work it around before you go into here, and don't just do this. See, look at my hair there when I did it. Don't do that. You want to work it through. Hey,
and then
Atia.
So what I was gonna share, like for hair loss, like because you're gonna be experiencing clients, they're gonna be coming in. Main thing they're gonna be complaining about is their hair is dry, and you're gonna notice it's damaged. And so what I would highly recommend to you to do to your clients, like every time they come getting your chair, is begin to give them deep conditioning treatments because you want to be able to help to keep their hair supple. You want to be able to put that moisture back into that hair. And if they're not getting the right treatment, they're not going to be in your chair long. So I want you guys to really listen to what I just said because it's not always about putting a protein pack on their head. Like
I
sometimes
was
their
just
head
gonna
don't
say
need
that.
that. Like it's not about that, guys. And then it's not about just, you shampoo the hair and then you just, like Tiffany just mentioned, you just slap the conditioner on your hair. No, when someone has damaged hair and if they've, been experiencing hair loss for a while, you gotta be able to tame that hair, get it back manageable, and give that hair the nutrients that it
Yes.
needs. And you're gonna have to do, give them some deep condition. You got to press that conditioner in their hair. You got to wrap them up, put them under your steamer or your hair
Yes.
dryer, and put that moisture back into the hair. Now, will they complain about, oh, I got to sit under the dryer 30 minutes? Yeah, but then that's where you come in as the professional and say, well, you came to me. This is the style that you require. This is what you're experiencing right now. And when you explain it to them, and let them know, hey, this is going to help your hair grow back. This is going to help to stop that dryness. They're going to pipe down and they're going to listen. And they're like, oh, okay, she know what she's talking about. You know what she's talking about.
Yes. Yes, that was being a cosmetology instructor. That was the main struggle we had was the application of the shampoo and the conditioner because I mean, 80% of the people that came in, their hair was chewed out in the middle. And that's because they were going from this hair school, that hair school, this hair school, or wherever they were going. And the product was not thoroughly being worked into the hair. So there was getting no conditioning here. And you got all this little Tweety Bird hair sitting around and ends need to be trimmed. So you have to go back to the beginning, right? You have to think about where it all started, what you learned there, and build upon it. So you should already have all that stuff you already have, but sometimes we don't use it. We have
Yeah.
to step back and reassess what we're doing before we can add to it. So, refresh. You need a refresher every now and again. I've been in for 30 years, so I have to sit back sometimes and think about what is going on and where I started when I'm
Yeah.
teaching, the people in the cosmetology schools because they just got there, so they don't know. So
Mhm.
sometimes I'm talking up here and I have to remember to come back here, because of the different experiences that I've had. I want to give them everything, but got to
Yeah.
start. You got to go back to the basics.
Absolutely. And so we're going to again be in Atlanta. If you guys are interested coming out, definitely get on the wait list. I'm going to put that in the chat. It'll also be in the comments. And I believe it is bit.ly protect and grow. Can you think of anything else before we wrap up, Tiff?
No, I think that's it for today because we will be back next Monday. Are we both back next Monday? So we will be back
Just
next
you
Monday.
have to hold it down for me next Monday.
That's fine. But for the foreseeable future, one of the two of us will be here every Monday, okay? To give you guys some tips and just to help you understand what it is that you will be learning in the class that we're going to have in Atlanta. Give you guys a heads up so you can prepare and have your questions ready. If you have questions while we're on the live, please use the little question box. That's what it's for. We want to talk to you. Talk to me. I promise I'll talk back. Okay.
Right. I think I
That's
pinned it in the comment.
Yes.
Okay.
I see it. I see it.
Okay, I was gonna say so far I don't see any questions.
So we'll make sure to occasionally drop a question box in our stories. And if you have a question that you didn't get a chance to ask here, just check out our stories and ask the question there. We will answer it for you.
My bad, guys. It's bit.ly protect and grow event. I'm gonna add that back in the chat. It's bit.ly protect and grow event. There we go. And then how I pin it. There we go.
There you go.
I
Yep.
probably should have did that when we first hopped on.
That's okay.
I'm
That's
gonna do it next time, or you could do it next time when we. Hey, we looking and learning, and that's what we doing. Getting out here doing these lives, guys.
absolutely. Sometimes you're learning as you go along. This technology changes all the time. You know these Instagram streets got potholes. You know they do. you know you're at the green light and they say, "Ah, we're not doing this anymore."
All
So
right, guys. Well, that's it. You guys take care. Talk to you soon.
thanks for tuning in. See you next week.